05. Cassie thought Lila ruined her shoes until she noticed the blood on the satin dress and the panic in her cousin's eyes. She couldn't explain. Narrator voice. Dramatic, slightly sarcastic, emotionally grounded. Cassie Bennett had one rule: never mix family with fashion. And yet there she was, clutching the remains of her $700 Balenciaga heels, shaking with disbelief, rage, and something else. Suspicion. It all started 3 nights ago. Lila Monroe, the cousin Cassie hadn't seen in almost 6 months, popped back into town with a text message that read, "Girl, I got invited to that rooftop party. You know, the one with DJs and lawyers. Can I borrow something glam?" Cassie hesitated. Her first instinct was no. Lila had a history: late returns, broken zippers, forgotten apologies, but she sounded desperate. And Cassie had a soft spot for family, even the flaky kind. So she handed over her prized heels, still in the original box, wrapped in tissue like newborns. One night, she warned. One night, no grass stains, no rooftop races, and definitely no mystery cocktails. Lila grinned. Promise. That promise didn't last till morning. Cut to next day, Cassie's apartment. The knock at the door came at 8. Cassie opened it to find Lila looking like she had crawled through the apocalypse. Smeared eyeliner, a crooked ponytail, and worst of all, barefoot. Lila held out the shoes. One heel snapped, the toe box crusted in what looked like a mix of dried wine and something darker. Cassie blinked. "Is that blood?" Lila laughed, nervously. "It's just punch. Someone spilled on me. I tripped. Long story." But Cassie's eyes dropped to Lila's dress, a silky pale pink number, now stained maroon along the left hip, as if something sharp had slashed across her. There was a small tear, barely noticeable, but Cassie saw it. More importantly, she saw Lila's hands shaking. Narrator's tone shifts, colder, more analytical. Cassie didn't yell, not yet. Instead, she said the one thing that made Lila flinch. "Tell me the truth. Not the party version. The real version." And just like that, Lila shut down. A shrug, a fake smile, and a half-whispered, "It's nothing." But it wasn't nothing. Because 30 minutes later, Cassie got a call from Micah, one of the bartenders at the club. He said, "Yo, is your cousin okay after that scene last night? I thought she'd be in jail." Cassie's blood ran cold. "What scene?" Cut to narrator, with edge. Micah's silence said more than words. And Cassie suddenly realized, this wasn't about shoes anymore. Something bad happened. She said it was just a drink spill, but then why did Micah mention a man bleeding, glass breaking, and Lila running out the back door? Narrator voice, sharper now, investigative and gripping. Cassie wasn't one to snoop, until the lies started stacking like receipts in a guilty purse. After Micah's cryptic call, she drove straight to Club Ember. The rooftop was closed for cleaning, but one of the waitresses, Jules, recognized her immediately. "You're Lila's cousin, right?" Jules said, eyebrow raised. "Yikes." Cassie forced a laugh. "What happened here Saturday night?" Jules leaned in. Lila showed up looking like she belonged in Vogue, but she didn't leave that way. She and some guy, tall, buzz-cut, maybe military, started yelling. Something about a phone. Then he tried grabbing her bag. She slapped him. Cassie blinked. She slapped him. Hard, like full-on drama slap. Then he grabbed her by the arm. She threw her drink at him, and he slipped, cut his arm on broken glass. Blood everywhere. She ran out crying. Narrator tone, deep suspicion layered with disbelief. Cassie's mind reeled. None of this was in Lila's version. No slap, no blood, no angry guy. Just spilled punch and a torn heel. But there was more. Jules handed Cassie something Lila must have dropped. A cracked phone, not Lila's usual one. This one was older, locked, screen smeared with something sticky. Security found it under a couch cushion. "We figured she'd come back for it." "Guess not." Cassie took the phone. No charger, no clue, but she had a friend who could help. Cut to Ryan, tech nerd and Cassie's ex from sophomore year. Ryan was awkward, snarky, but brilliant. "Why would Lila have a burner phone?" he asked as he connected it to his laptop. Cassie shook her head. "That's what I'm trying to figure out." 10 minutes later, Ryan cracked it. "Only one audio file on here," he said. "You ready?" Cassie nodded, and then she heard it. Lila's voice. shaky, furious, whispering, "If you show up again, I swear I'll press charges. You had no right to film me. I trusted you." Cassie's stomach dropped. Narrator tone, slow and chilling. Who was she talking to? What exactly was filmed? And why did she need a separate phone to record that message? Cassie looked at the broken heels sitting on her couch, and suddenly they felt like evidence, not of fashion destruction, but of something darker, maybe illegal, maybe dangerous. And Lila? She wasn't just hiding the truth, she was running from it. She didn't deny the recording, she just stared at me and said, "If you play that, Cassie, everything burns, including you." Narrator voice, emotionally layered, raw, intense. Cassie hadn't planned on confronting Lila that night. She just showed up. The broken heels were in one hand. The phone with the voice message was in the other. She stood at the edge of Lila's porch, thunder in her throat. Lila opened the door wearing an old hoodie, eyes hollow. Cassie didn't speak right away. She simply hit play. Lila's voice echoed into the quiet night. "You had no right to film me. I trusted you." Silence. Lila didn't flinch, didn't beg. She just whispered, "So you found it." Cassie swallowed. "Who was he?" Lila leaned against the doorframe, defeated. "His name's Carter. We used to talk. He found out I was seeing someone else. He said he had videos, stuff from his apartment. Said if I didn't come see him, he'd send it to my new guy." Narrator tone heavy with grief and frustration. Cassie felt her stomach knot. "Lila, did he hurt you?" Lila laughed, cold, bitter. "Not physically, but blackmail doesn't leave bruises you can show the cops, does it?" Suddenly the destroyed shoes, the blood, the panic, it all made sense. The phone wasn't just a burner, it was evidence, insurance. And Lila? She hadn't told anyone, not out of pride, but shame. "I ran out of there," she said. "When I got home, I couldn't even look at myself. I was gonna throw the phone away, but I dropped it instead." Narrator voice, quieter now, emotional. Cassie sat down on the porch step. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry I cared more about some damn shoes than about you." Lila shook her head. "You had every right. I lied. I used you. I panicked. And now," she looked up, "now you." Cassie looked at her cousin, really looked, and saw not a liar, but a girl, drowning in secrets, trying to act like she was swimming. Closing beat, full circle, emotional turn. The next morning, Cassie dropped the heels in the trash. She kept the phone, not to expose Lila, but to protect her. Later that day, she handed it to a lawyer friend of hers. Whatever happened between Lila and Carter, it wasn't over, but at least now Cassie was in her corner. And for once, that mattered more than fashion.